Right, this quick video for a Fiat 500 TwinAir. The car's a 61 plate, as you can see here, with 26,000 miles on the clock. This car's been fitted with the black alloys and black wing mirrors, finished in bright red. Looks absolutely fantastic. Just to go around the car for you, offside of the vehicle here, very clean and crisp. Front wing there, no marks on there. Front alloy in very good condition, and tyre with absolutely tons and tons of tread on it as well. Flanks are all very clean, as I said. There will be the odd minor marks somewhere on the vehicle, so you can expect on any used car, but you know, they are, you can have to sort of squint to find them, in all honesty. There's no indentations, car parking dinks or otherwise. Rear tyre again, absolutely loads of tread, and alloy pretty much unmarked there as well. Around the back of the car, all in very fine order. You know, very good looking little cars, they really are. Obviously very low tax banding on these vehicles, and quite amazing economy as well. But there's no marks on the rear bumper there. Near side of the car, absolutely beautiful condition, no dents that I can see. Rear wing, very clean indeed. Rear alloy unmarked, and again loads of tread on the tyre. There's a couple of, you can just see here on the door edge, I don't know, that's always actually polished. I thought it might just be where someone's caught the seatbelt, so ignore that, there isn't a mark on the paint. And then finally down the side of the car, all in lovely order. On there, front alloy, just a tiniest little bit of curbing, so I've just caught it just a fraction on there, but you know, that's pretty much the extent of any exterior marks on the vehicle. Look at the car in very good condition. Coming inside the car, passenger door card, all very good indeed. Very nicely styled interiors on these cars, they really are. But you know, sort of good looking vehicle. Seats all in super condition there. So jumping inside, engine's running, slightly offbeat sound to the engine, which is the TwinAir engine. It takes me back to the sort of 60s and 70s in there. Got owner's manual pack, and sorry, just up behind that, we've got the locking wheel nut key for the car as well, so that's all good and intact. The only marks you can see on the interior is a couple just here on the dash there, only very minor indeed. But the interior, very stylishly done. It's all in sort of very nice condition as well. Come over here and you see engine's running with the rev counter there, 26,627 miles. But all in very nice condition for the age and mileage of the vehicle. And what will follow after this video will be just a short road test of the car. Right, this is a quick road test. This is for a Fiat 500. This is the TwinAir version. The car is registered VE61KFZ, and mileage at the start of this brief road test is 26,627 miles. Road test is done on the same roads locally as any prospective buyer would be driving on, so should be representative obviously of what you should feel yourself. The reason we actually do the road tests is basically because we're selling to customers now from all over the near continent and the extremes of the UK, and we just want people to see the cars in operation prior to coming to us, so you get a good feel for what the car is all about, and just make sure it drives as it should, which it hopefully does and will. Firstly, starting with the engine of the car, obviously TwinAir engine, so it's got a very different soundtrack to a normal petrol engine. I'd absolutely love it. It sort of harks back to kind of the 60s and the old Fiat 500s, but you put your foot down and it makes a really lovely noise. It pulls really well. Starts on the button, there's no warning lights for the engine at all. Obviously hugely economical engines, very cheap on road tax as well. But the engine itself, absolutely spot on, it really is. Clutch on the car bites perfectly, engages, disengages, squeak free. There's no clicks or otherwise from the mechanism. Nice and fluid in actuation. As I said, you know, the bite point is exactly where you'd want it to be on the pedal of any of these cars. Clutch then goes through into the gearbox of the vehicle. Nice big, very Italian style sort of gear lever here, nicely stylised. Gear change, very good indeed actually. And I can't really detect any wear in it at all. It's, you know, changing from first to second there. It's just nice and easy. Synchro mesh is all really good. So I can't feel anything that's, you know, would suggest anywhere at all. So I've got my keys rattling down. I just want to move them out of the way. But no, the gear linkage, all the gears engage absolutely as they should. So, you know, very fine order indeed. Brakes on the car, lovely solid brake pedal, right at the top of the pedal, not over servoed. I hate that on cars, but the pedal itself, there's no pulsing, there's no vibration back through the pedal, pulls up nice and straight. Just wait to move off before I just check the steering and the suspension of the car. So I do love the sound of these engines, I mean, especially these low revs. There's a lovely raughty sound to it. It's fantastic. Steering of the car, there's no vibrations coming back through it at all. It tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no, as I said, there's not a hint of wear in the power steering of the car at all. It's all very direct, exactly it was when it was new. And as I said, it's not pulling left, right or otherwise. And there's certainly no vibrations no matter what speed I'm doing coming back through. Suspension on the car likewise rides very nicely, very direct, you know, great fun to drive. They really are. Very kind of old school, all the better for it. But again, what I try and listen out for on these road tests, as brief as they may be, we do go over some quite rough roads, is just, you know, the kind of noises that you don't want from a car. You know, you expect to hear it going over bumps, you'll hear the thuds, which is quite right. But what I don't want to be listening out for is, or I don't want to hear rather, is sort of clanks or bangs, which is normally kind of suspension struts and these little drop links, which is designed to wear out. But there's none on the car. There's no metallic noises at all. It's very smooth and quiet under the chassis of the vehicle itself. Likewise, when I'm driving, just listening out for kind of wind noises that shouldn't really be there. And by that I mean, if, you know, someone's accidentally skagged a seal on a door, or windscreen isn't fitted quite right, sometimes you get a bit of wind hiss, which can be quite annoying. But again, all nice and quiet and subdued in here. Inside the car, obviously I went around this on the walk around video which came prior to that, but it's a very nice place to sit. There's no squeaks or rattles from inside the vehicle. All the switchgear works really nicely indeed. I'll just check the air conditioning of the car whilst I'm at it. So I'll let that kick in while I'm carrying on talking about a couple of other things. That's up a fraction. There we go. In fact, that's absolutely ice cold straight away, so the air conditioning is functioning perfectly. Every switch I pressed has worked exactly as it meant to as well. Dashboard, you know, as I said, very styled, nicely styled. You know, very much Italian. You know, obviously it uses sort of styling cues from, you know, the original vehicle. Straight in front of me here, obviously you've got this little pod which has your speedo. Then just inside that you've got your rev counter, and then inside that you've got fuel and temperature gauge. Temperature's just under half, which is where it wants to be. As I said, no warning lights on the vehicle at all. You do have a little prompt light there, a little shift light that just comes on just to sort of, you know, give you a little suggestion to change up. Obviously that maximises the fuel economy rather of the vehicle itself. But it's all in sort of, you know, fine working order. Just check the wing mirror adjusters while I'm stationary. Absolutely fine. And they're all good on there as well, so that's absolutely fine. I've checked all the electric windows, they all work perfectly as well. So all in all, a really cracking little car, not done many miles, so you'd expect it to be good, and it most certainly is. And don't think for a second that this is just a box ticking exercise. If there's anything on these cars that I need to criticise, I will do it. Just so happens in this case there is nothing that I can find on the car that merits any concern whatsoever. Obviously, if I've missed anything out in the video, do give us a call and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.